Times are tough. A rough-a-tough-a-tough. Ladies and gentlemen, Austin's groovy Perry Logan in. Times are tough. A rough-a-tough-a-tough.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Times are tough. A rough-a-tough-a-tough. I'll get back to you. Hi, it's April 28th, 2011. Isn't that groovy? That's the Times Are Tough groovy beat. You know, times may be tougher than they've ever been. Whoa. Times may be tougher than they've ever been in my lifetime. I don't know. As I say, April 28th, 2011. What are we to make of this mess? The mess being, among other things, that the future of an entire generation is blighted. Tough times. The future of an entire generation looks blighted. But I hasten to say it's gonna be okay, okay? Okay, it's gonna be okay. I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the times are tough dancers! Times are tough. Can you say, times are tough? Well, here I am, as always, laughing, helping you laugh through your tears. The tears are considerable on April 28th, 2011. At this precise time. That's right, it looks like it's either high noon or midnight. But on April 28th, 2011, we are having tougher times than ever. Time marches forward, and America finds itself in no less than 3 wars, and these are only the wars we know about. Each one of these wars is arguably illegal. In each one of these wars, as elsewhere, the United States continues to commit massive and continuous war crimes. This is the United States we're talking about here. That's tough. Those are tough times. A rough-a-tough-a-tough. Repeat after me. These are rough times. We find our nation run by the corporations who do not seem to have our welfare in mind. Republicans, energized by the abysmal, awful betrayal of the Democrats under Barack Obama, are launching major national coordinated attacks on the safety nets as progressives flee for cover. Where am I? This is Perry Logan. This is Perry Logan on the streets of Austin, Texas. I am somewhat lost, but as usual. This is Perry Logan on the streets of Austin, Texas. Hook 'em, Austin, Texas, where we are going to secede, by the way. If Texas secedes from the Union, Austin is going to secede from Texas to be ruled by me, Perry Logan. Perhaps that's why I'm wandering in the streets of Austin. Hey, these are rough times, rough-a-tough. Rough times, as the kids are saying today. Why are they tough? Hey, 3 wars, those are the ones we're admitting to. There's other wars, you know, secret wars, covert wars, wars against our own citizens, for God's sakes, information wars. They are like monitoring all of us. They've been monitoring all of us since Bush, Cheney, and we kind of hired Obama and the Democrats to fix it. And like a really bad musical group, Obama and the Democrats, Obama and the Democrats failed. Rough times, leading to rough times. And it isn't funny to me or amusing in any way that you can see the young people are thinking that maybe their dreams are shattered. But by the same token, it was tragic that they were sending my generation, the baby boomers, off to die in Vietnam. That's what happened to me. My generation, I'm a relatively early baby boomer. Look at me! I'm a baby boomer! Hey, I'm a relatively early baby boomer, born in 1948, if you must know. I'm backing off from the camera. They told me that they would zap me if I got too close to the camera. Yay! Hey, I'm in all seriousness, a relatively early baby boomer. And it wasn't really funny then either, of course, because there was the draft and they were sending thousands of us off to die, with particular emphasis on people of color and the lower classes. Let's face it. Okay, you know, it was a matter of trying to decide whether you were going to go to Canada or you were going to fight in the war, go to Canada, you know, try to get yourself declared 4F. Really dismal and grim things. And I am so glad that there is no draft. I would never want another draft. You know, I hope we never see such a thing again. Okay, well, I'm just sort of recalling that it wasn't funny for us either, because it looked like the whole thing was a sham. It looked like that we couldn't cash in on the Great Society unless we went off to Vietnam, where psyches, when you weren't killed or wounded, your psyche was shattered. And you know, we have our brothers and sisters today, Vietnam vets. The greatest, right? Vietnam vets. The greatest. But needing help, and a government that is now, in these worst of times, these tough, rough, in these times, we see them suffering terribly, and the government doing less and less to care for them. That's part of the roughness and the toughness of our times. And that is very bad, although, you know, just comparing and contrasting, at least they're not being sent off to die in Vietnam or be shattered and hurt in Vietnam and, you know, all these terrible things. I just wanted to compare and contrast. You see, I'm a boomer. Pity on the poor boomer. Hey, I'm an early boomer. Please have pity on us.
Do you know what it was like?
Hey, wait a minute.
Let me tell you then. Hold still as I hold you with my glittering eye. Hey, as I hold you with my glittering eye, I just wanted to let you know what it was like to be a baby boomer. Now, we were cashing in on a huge economic rocket ride. There's no two ways about it. Okay? Okay.
You could make a living pretty easily in those days, 50s and 60s mostly. 50s and 60s. But my friends, don't you understand? The greatest generation was trying to poison us. I'm not making this up. Hey, the greatest generation were trying to poison us. Why, they were raising us on chemicals, radiation, and Wonder Bread. What do you think of that? Chemicals, radiation, and Wonder Bread. What do you think of that? Chemicals, radiation, chemicals, Wonder Bread, radiation. What do you think of that? They raised us on chemicals, Wonder Bread, and radiation, okay? So how long do you think we're gonna last? How long do you think the baby boomers are gonna last? Having been raised by the greatest generation who were obviously trying to kill us. Ah! I eat my own words. No, look. It wasn't so easy. They had us in a constant state of terror, hiding under our desks, ducking and covering over imminent nuclear attack. The Russians! Fear. Hey, it wasn't that easy. Being a baby boomer, let's just say it was a little hard to enjoy the economic rocket ride of that period. Also, those of us who paid attention couldn't help but notice that the economic rocket ride was still pretty much reserved only for a white minority. And we were white, most of us were white, and a minority ourselves. But we didn't like it. We knew it was unfair. And then, as if there were any doubt that the greatest generation were out to kill us, they started doing literally that. They started drafting us to go and die in Viet Nam, and many thousands of my brothers and sisters died in Vietnam, or were hurt, or today still suffer. The greatest folks, the greatest people ever, the Vietnam veterans, the greatest people ever. I avoided that fate, okay, just by luck. But that was what was going down, you see. It wasn't that easy, and I don't want to compare our suffering to yours too much. I just wanted you to understand what it felt like to be a baby boomer. Oh, baby. I want you to understand what it felt like to be a baby boomer. Whether you want to know or not. Well, you see, Your Honor, after having been raised on Wonder Bread, radiation, and chemicals, how long are we going to last? Well, they didn't think we were going to last too long because they started shipping us off. The greatest generations were out to kill us. I just thought I wanted to make this little point. Everything was fine. The greatest generation were great, okay? They were great. But they were trying to kill us. I don't... do I have to turn into a monster to let you know that while the greatest generation were incontrovertibly great, they were trying to kill their children? From the get-go, they raised us on radiation, Wonder Bread, and chemicals. Then, when we came of age, they started sending us off to die in Vietnam. Oh, hey, and you know what? Here's something. You know what? It goes on today. I'm all the way up to April 27th, 2011, although I know you're from the future and you're laughing at us. You're from the future and you're laughing at us in these best of times. Wait a minute, you know what else? Now, in the present, they are fixing to take our Social Security and Medicare away. Well, I guess they are us now. I know, I guess it's us doing it to ourselves. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, how weird that is, but it does look to me that, we had that trying to kill you motif going on. kind of soured us in some ways. I think it's lucky. I think you're lucky that we baby boomers went around saying peace and love and didn't just open fire. Okay? I'm going to get to your generation because I do feel this show's about something it's not funny. It's the apparent shattered dreams of the young people coming of age. Are very rightly mad. They're mad at my generation, okay, for some reason. So I'm addressing this right here and saying, no, I don't think this is funny, but I don't think it's going to be bad. I think it's going to be cool, okay? It's going to be cool. But getting back to me. Hey, getting back to me, which is where we ought to be. Getting back to me, that's where we ought to be. Getting back to me, that's where we ought to be. Getting back to me, I just wanted to add that little codicil to my sad boomer story. Is that, okay, they were trying to kill us. Come on, give me a break. They were trying to kill us. I don't know what they thought they were doing, but how are we to survive? And now, when we're pretty sick, you see, because we were raised on you know what? Yeah, rough, tough times. They were not tough times when I was of age, coming of age, but it was not Shangri-La. You see, they really were setting us off to kill in Viet Nam. Or be killed or kill. Things not good. Okay. Like I say, it's lucky we went with the peace and love thing and didn't just open fire. All right. And now they're fixing, well, they're planning it, the Democrats as well, are to take down Social Security or screw up Social Security. This, as you well know, is part of the concern of young people, whom I am, despite appearances, here to reassure. Oh my God! Perry says he's there to reassure the young and then turns into a monster. I don't know what exactly he's trying to do, except freak everybody out. These are rough times, tough. Main Street is hurting, and the government is fixing to tear down the safety net. Even Barack Obama gave a speech recently in which he extolled the virtues of the safety net and then announced his plans to gut it. That's right. In a recent television address, which I missed, Barack Obama extolled eloquently the virtues of the safety net. And then announced his plans to gut it. Thank you, big guy. I'm going into the book, aren't I? I'm not going into the book? Am I going into the book? I've always wanted to go into the book. My friends, I think we're in the book. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but it suggests to me we are finally in that book that everything goes into in the Perry Logan Show. These are very tough times. Our infrastructure is going to take trillions of dollars to fix. Our wounded warriors are going to take an infinite amount of money to heal and care for. Certainly the young people of today have every right to be angry, chagrined and saddened that their futures look gutted and that the hopes they had might be dashed. Perry is here, first of all, to apologize and also to say, hey, young generation, whatever we're supposed to call you, it's not gonna be so bad. Times are tough. Times are tough. Just the thing, okay. Now, I'd like to introduce you to the weird green monster inside my head.
Play it, brother. Oh man, times are so tough. I don't envy the young having such a rotten apple of a world handed to them. Sorry, young folks, I'm really sorry. Times are tough. Times are tough. Hey, but we're gonna get you through. Hey, young folks, we're gonna get you through. Play it, brother. This is for the young folks. Times are tough. Rough, tough. I said times are tough. I said rough, tough. I said times are tough.
And now, Austin's Groovalicious Perry Logan with Words of Hope for the Young.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. These are tough times. Times are tough. Rough, tough. Hi. This is Perry Logan with the Words of Hope for the Young. The young folks today have recently gotten betrayed by our friends the Obamacrats. I don't want to get into bashing the Obamacrats. It's tough enough, but that is really what happened, you see. Is that in 2008, this is my version of what happened in 2008, the American people said, hey, Democrats, fix this mess. And the Democrats didn't. Not only didn't they, but many things are worse and many things are far worse. Whoa. That's why times are tough. Hey, listen, times are so tough that I'm going to turn into a dog. I'm going to turn into a dog. But first, words of encouragement for the young who, you know, they are feeling very just down in the mouth, as well as kind of mad at the baby boomers. Right? You know, we gave our parents a hard time, so we cannot throw the first stone. Look here, young-uns. Here's the good news, okay? Besides a lot of things being cool, there's still cool stuff out there. There is an upside to not being able to feed yourself into the mechanism of the corporate state. Okay, well maybe, now I'm sounding like a boomer, right? But there is an upside that you're not going to be able perhaps to have a big corporate career, which have killed the souls of many, okay? Right. You know, in all seriousness, the United States needs you folks more than ever. Tattoos and all. Bad songs and all. Grotesque body piercings and all! I gotta give you a hard time, I'm sorry. Hey, one of the perks of getting older is giving a young a hard time. Hey guys, could you try not marring your flesh with grotesque body piercings and tattoos? And stop writing songs, please. Listen, you know, you get to badmouth the young too and give them a hard time. But mostly, they don't really need to be ribbed right now. They need to be cheered up and buck up. Hey, young, this is Perry Logan. Buck up! All right, I may or may not have any cred, but I want you to know the country needs you to get out there and help the left recover. The left has been shattered. Come on, man. Liberals, left, progressives, the majority. Shut up. It's the majority, okay? Shut up. It's a progressive country, or else we wouldn't have Social Security. End of argument. Sorry about the gun part. Hey, I'm a baby boomer, okay? And it just seems to me that you're lucky we went with the peace and love thing and didn't just open fire, baby. Hey, peace and love my arse. Hey, trying to help the young here. Okay. Now, in all seriousness, you're as great as any generation. Tattoos aside, inability to write songs aside. And I don't really think it was your fault that you got betrayed by Obama. See, hard to believe. Just a few years ago, the young were jazzed and excited in an unprecedented way. And they, more than other Americans, perhaps have experienced the drop that the Democrats failed. Now look at us. Okay. Look at the other side, guys. It's an opportunity. You got to get out there and save the country from the mess. The baby boomers, but not my cohort. The baby boomers, but not my cohort. All right, but you know, the country needs you. In all seriousness, we need you. And we do think you're a great generation. And I'm glad you're not being sent off to die. And I'm sorry that your dreams seem shattered, but it's going to be okay. You are up for it. You have a challenge, okay? It wasn't what you had envisioned, okay? But this is part of your power, part of the hope that lies ahead for you, okay? Boomer here. Politically speaking, in terms of public policy, the country desperately needs more progressive, liberal policies, more Social Security, better Medicare for all, basically, right? All generations are great, and maybe they're all terrible too, okay? But I realize it's sort of unprecedentedly weird and tough, but it's going to be all right. The country needs you. Get out there, organize, help the left recover, toss the bad guys out, okay? I know it's going to be hard, hey, but that's why you're young, okay? All right. Now, I'm going to show you how tough times are. I'm going to turn into a dog, okay? And you got to chant me in here. Check it out. Times are tough. Now you. Times are tough. Times are tough. Times are tough. Times are tough. Everybody. Logan's turned into a dog just to encourage the younger generation. Hey, you are as great as any generation. The country needs you more than ever. And please help us return America into the hands of the people. Oh yeah.